It's canon, bigot. The Lord doesn't matter anymore. Oh my god, trans rights, guys. The only people upset about this news are literal Nazis. Cope and seethe, chuds. Okay.
Bunch of slack-jawed faggots around here.
Yeah, that ought to make the Pitchfork Brigade sharpen their tools even harder. For anyone actually bothering to listen to me, I'll say this from the outset. I have no problems with anyone being trans. As long as you aren't subhumans like Chris Chan, Jim Sterling, Ezra Miller, or Keffels. Identify however you want. Hell, I've even said as much in my Jim Sterling video. So, if you're either living under a rock, lucky fucker, or have zero interest in the FGC, then you'd have heard about Bridget, one of the most famous femboys to ever exist next to Astolfo, was brought to Guilty Gear Strive, and with it, his entire character background is flushed down the toilet, all for brownie points with the Politburo that had zero interest in ever touching Guilty Gear to begin with. What character background, you ask? Well, his origin story is as follows. In his village, there's a superstition involving same-sex twins where they'd be killed by some curse, so his parents hide this fact by having him dress up like a chick. This dude then leaves the village and becomes a bounty hunter, all while trying to prove he's a man to everyone he comes across. See, now you can see how weird it is that with his return, he inexplicably goes against all of that backstory and wants to live as a woman thanks to Gold Lewis gaslighting him into questioning his identity. Man, Daisuke sure is based, am I right, guys? So this is the representation you guys want? A character who was groomed from birth to be a woman because of a superstition, who has had to reject this idea for his whole life, and he then defaults back to being a chick because someone else decided to make him question himself. Thought you guys were against trans people being groomed to be a specific gender they never wanted to be, but somehow it's fine with Bridget. I bet you sycophants could even justify what happened to David Raymer if you guys decided to watch Horizon or any documentary on the subject. Also, don't blame the localizers here either, Nihongo files, or in this guy's case, pedophile. It's in the Japanese version too, so blame Daisuke and the writing staff for retconning this character just to pander to people who will never touch Guilty Gear ever. I don't know why you idiots keep on trying over and over again to argue this point while using machine translations which are known to be complete fucking shit when translating from Japanese to English. So, fuck right off. Daisuke is not based like you think he is. Go fuck yourself, Ramune swilling cum-brained losers. This, of course, isn't a rare occurrence in this day and age. Any comic fan will remember how Iceman would do nothing but mac on chicks for decades, then be gaslit into being a fig, because hack writers got a hack. What's next? Is the re-release of P4 Golden on the Switch and Xbox Series, whatever EX plus Alpha, stupidest fucking name doesn't need to be that long, gonna make Kanji a cock gobbler or make Naruto trans, or bring that horse carcass known as the Yosuke romance back into the game fully? Fuck these hack writers, and fuck their fans as well. If all these fans need for validation is a pre-established character being rewritten to the point of losing all their identity and background for a product they know fuck all about, then stop pandering to them for the love of God. Because it's insulting that not only do you need a character to match your gender identity or sexual preference or even race for you to find any relatability to them, but that these writers have to neuter their own works for these fucking people. This goes for every franchise on Earth, of course, but be warned that it can happen at any time, and that these people are so fucking lonely and desperate that they'll cling on to any kind of narrative just for the sake of representation. Take a look at Fujoshi's, like this guy trying to say that, oh, loyalty to the crown prince means that he wants to fuck him. Blah, 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 blah. This fucking trite horse shit is awful. Or, of course, Kamen Rider fans, sometimes, being like, oh, Sento and Banjo are definitely gay for each other. You know, ignore the fact that they're only just friends and that the latter guy uses his dead girlfriend's essence to transform. That's real, by the way. I'm not fucking bullshitting you. It's such tired nonsense that no one should acknowledge, and yet these people do and they want more. They aren't people who can be satisfied at all, so don't even bother capitulating to them. I've been an advocate as far back as my final video of my Advance Wars 1 Let's Play for Gatekeeping, and this situation with Bridget proves why you really need to do this. Because they'll take everything that made the franchise what it is and fillet it to shit, and then move on to the next franchise because they have no real interest in staying in one place. Just ask Battletech fans for more validation on the subject, or Warhammer fans, or pretty much any fucking franchises these days. So this wrapped up all neatly and with minimal casualties. I'm sure I won't have much else to rant about in the future, so let's head out, have a nice barbecue while the weather is all nice and warm, and have ourselves a grand old time.
Meanwhile, Ferdinand is a huge opera fanboy and opens up to hot mess diva Manuela about how he learned swordplay by imitating her dances on stage. Was he doing it in drag?
Oh, for fuck's sake, my work is never done, huh?